Hey now, say now, welcome back to the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty. Today we wrap up year 4 with two pivotal QB clashes as Florida State comes to town to take on the 10-0 Stanford Cardinal. We've got another QB clash on hand as Solomon Atachu comes in 94 overall, one of the top QBs in the nation. He put together a solid campaign with 2,700 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. His top receiving targets include Javon Boggs with 781 yards and 5 touchdowns, and Gregory Dunsmore with 618 yards and 5 touchdowns as well. BJ Gibson, the senior wide receiver, rounded out their passing attack with 560 yards and 4 touchdowns, while tight end Tayshawn Gelsey ended up with 552 yards and 3 touchdowns on the campaign so far. Defensively, their leader was Emmanuel Getz. He finished with 60 tackles and 3 TFLs along with 1 sack for the junior Mike linebacker. Safety Glenn Frome, he finished with 54 tackles and 3 TFLs as well, and his safety counterpart Jose Hardrick finished with 45 TFLs and an interception. LeJesse Harold, the edge, finished with 7 TFLs along with Montgomery and Ruggs, who all finished with 7 TFLs to lead the team, while George Montgomery, the defensive tackle, led the team with 4.5 sacks. They only ended up with 5 interceptions, with Parrish, Fowler, Hardrick, and Bates all getting a pick on the year. They will have a tough task at hand to try to slow down Josh Pinto and the Cardinal offense. So we kick off the action 8 minutes in the first. Play action, boot to the right. Pinto throws it up to Mbakwe. He makes the catch. He breaks a tackle and dashes for the end zone for the touchdown. Electric play to get the scoring started early, and the Cardinals take a 7-0 lead. Florida State ball now, facing a 3rd and 11. Atachu drops back the pass. He darts forward before throwing a strike downfield. That's BJ Gibson, who hauls it in to extend the drive. They end up facing a 3rd and 13 before Atachu dumps it off to his halfback Kenyon Franks. He stops short of the first down marker, and the Seminoles are forced to settle for 3. 7-3 now with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Pinto takes a snap from empty. He stands in the pocket and throws it up top to Mikhail Skinner, who makes a tough catch to haul it in. Pinto over 110 yards in the first quarter. 3rd and goal now from the 3. Pinto again from empty. He drops back the pass. He scrambles right before throwing it up to Skinner. He hauls it in and powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown Cardinal, and the star tight end has his fingerprints all over the game early. Seminole ball again, 11:30 left in the second quarter. They face a 3rd and 7. Atachu gets great protection before scrambling right and throwing it up top, and it's wide open. Javon Boggs for a huge gain to extend the drive. Then on 3rd and 2 from the 4, Kenyon Franks takes the inside handoff, walks into the end zone, and the Seminoles strike back to cut the lead to 4. We had a back and forth game early. Stanford ball now on the 50. 1st and 10. Pinto drops back the pass. They set up a mid-screen that takes some time, but eventually Mbakwe gets the ball and picks up the first down. Then, very next play, Pinto drops back the pass again. He drifts back before throwing it up top to Skinner. He beats his man for another touchdown. Mikhail Skinner is dominating so far. Going into the halftime break, Stanford held a 21-13 lead over the Seminoles, where Mikhail Skinner has put up 115 yards, 7 catches, and 2 touchdowns in just 2 quarters of work. The Seminoles got to find a way to stop this man if they're going to have a chance. Florida State had the ball out of the break. 1st and 10. They throw a quick screen play to Javon Boggs. He picks up a block and turns on the burners. 10-5. He's tackled in the end zone, but it's a Florida State touchdown. Big strike TD out of the break, and they cut the lead to 2. They then set up to go for 2 points. Atachu back the pass again. He throws it to the corner and finds tight end Tayshawn Gelsey, and they convert the 2-pointer to tie the game out of the break. The Cardinals now find themselves in a tie game with just 2 minutes into the 3rd. Pinto's going to send a man in motion. He drops back the pass. He finds Heath's son, who gets tackled and loses the ball. It's recovered by the defense, and they're tackled down with the ball on the 40-yard line. Crucial mistake there by the redshirt freshman. However, Stanford was very confident that his knee was down, and after challenging the play, that's exactly what the replay showed. Sun's knee was down before the ball comes out, and Stanford holds on to the ball. Later on in the drive, they face a 3rd and inches from the 28. Pinto's barking out directions before taking a snap. He stands strong in the pocket before throwing it up top. It's Heath Sun in the end zone for the touchdown. Huge play there by the freshman. He almost fumbled away the drive, but he hauls it in for 6 instead. These two teams seem like two prize fighters the way they're punching and counter-punching. Florida State gets the ball again before Atachu finds Gelsey on a quick bubble screen. He stiff arms him in off him and he gets tackled down at the 35. Unfortunately, their drive does stall out at the 42. They try to kick a long field goal, but Jake Weinberg misses it wide left and Florida State gets nothing on the drive. Stanford takes over. They face a 3rd and 10. Pinto drops back the pass and he finds Jalen Mbakwe. He outruns the defender. 20, 10, touchdown Cardinal. They extend their lead to 2 scores with 4 to play in the 3rd quarter. But as expected, the Seminoles are looking to strike back. They're facing a 3rd and 6 from the 36. Stanford looks to send the blitz. It comes through and he dumps it off quickly to Franks, who gets tackled down at the 22-yard line. Then, on 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line, QB sneak for Atachu, and he dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Florida State punches back right before the 4th quarter. Stanford ball now on the 32-yard line in the 4th quarter. Sun's going to come in motion before Pinto goes up top and finds Mikael Skinner on the out route for a big gain. Later, on 3rd and goal from the 4, Pinto decides to keep it for himself. He takes 2 big hits, but guess what? He will not be denied. Touchdown Cardinal, and they extend their lead back to 2 scores in the 4th quarter. The Cardinal did a great job bleeding the clock, and Florida State only had 5 minutes and they were down 2 scores. Atachu's going to drop back the pass. He dumps it off to his running back, and Franks dashes up the field for a big gain. Then, on the following play, ball on the 32-yard line. Stanford's going to send the blitz, and of course Atachu beats him. It's Gelsey up the middle, and he runs it all the way in for the touchdown. Florida State was not ready to mail it in just yet. However, with just 3 minutes to play, Stanford was in the driver's seat. Pinto's going to throw it quick, and of course it's Skinner. He picks up a block downfield by Sun, and he extends the drive with his 170th yard of the game. Mikael Skinner dominated, and ultimately Stanford was able to keep the ball away from Florida State, and they're going to hold on for a 42-35 victory against the Seminoles. Another 6-touchdown effort by Josh Pinto to lead the way to victory. The Seminole offense came to play in this one, putting up 491 yards, one of the most successful offenses against Stanford's defense so far this year. 390 passing yards through the air. Solomon Atachu did everything he could to keep his squad in the game. Cameron Hazelwood ended up leading the Cardinal with 68 yards on the ground, while Chris Davis added 60 yards himself, as well as Pinto put up 52 and a touchdown. Receiving wise, we already know Mikael Skinner had a big gain, 170 yards on 10 catches and 2 touchdowns, while Jalen Mbakwe had 107 yards and 2 scores as well, along with Heath Sun 7 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown for himself. Defensively, the team leader was led by Coy Beasley with 9 tackles and Dylan Stevenson with 8 tackles himself. We had 3 players finish with 2 TFLs in Mattingly, Steven, and Maxson, and 2 players with a sack in Kike Feeney and Sam Mattingly. So, going into the season finale, Stanford was looking to go 12-0 for the 2nd straight season and punch their ticket to the ACC title game. But they would have to do so against their heated rivals in the Cal Bears. Cal was not so successful this year, only winning 4 games coming into this one, and last year's game did not put up a great showing as the score was 38-15 in favor of Stanford. And unfortunately for the Bears, this game didn't go according to plan either. Cardinal got the action started early. Ball on a 48, Pinto drops back the pass, throws it up top, it's Jalen Mbakwe. He beat his man by at least 10 yards, and the Stanford Cardinal puts up 7 quickly on the Bears. Second quarter now, Cardinal up 14-0. They set up a mid-screen to Sun. He picks up blocks downfield, then he turns on the Jets. 30, 20, 10, Touchdown Cardinal! The redshirt freshman breaks out late in the season, filling in for Pat McLaughlin, and he helps extend the lead to 21. Same score with exactly 2 minutes left in the half. Pinto's going to send a man in motion. He takes a snap from the 46, goes up top to Mikael Skinner, and he outruns a defender for a touchdown. Stanford puts up 28 points in the first half, absolutely blowing the doors off this one against their heated rivals. The game did not get any closer from there. 45-3 shellacking the Stanford Cardinal puts on the Cal Bears, and they keep Paul Bunyan's axe in a dominating fashion. The Cardinal finished 12-0 going into the ACC championship game for the second straight year, as they have their eyes clearly set on going back-to-back national championship games. Another dominating effort for Pinto, who should solidify himself as the Heisman Trophy winner. So, without further ado, Stanford sets up a matchup with the number 4 Clemson Tigers for the ACC championship game and a rematch from last year's exact matchup. So, thank you guys for tuning in. The quest for the title continues as the undefeated Cardinal moves on to the ACC title game. Thank you, and see you guys next time.